there are long-term effects. Well, it's also some short-term effects of the changes that are taking place because of climate change, the effects. And it will be, some of these effects will overwhelm capacities of communities to deal effectively with them. The impacts of these changes will be a function of what the local realities, that is the local vulnerabilities of communities are, as well as climate change. So we're going to see a lot of very, very differential impacts, different levels of loss and damage, different capacities to adapt to them. And I think that our major focus or our major purpose here is to develop a language in which we can address these very, very variable issues. There are big north-south differences. There are differences within nations in terms of local conditions of vulnerability. The impacts of climate change are not going to be felt equally in all regions of the world. There will be lots of different kinds of impacts. So we have a large task. Loss and damage is are the kinds of effects that people imagine. They imagine them very often in terms of material impacts. One of the things that I think is extraordinarily important to grasp are that these material impacts will have serious social and cultural effects. Multiple steps at different levels. I think we are, here at the UNU, we are involved in developing science for the use for its utility or its relevance to policymaking. And I think that's a very, very broad issue, or a very important issue, is how do we link what our findings are and link it and frame it so that it can be used in policy forums. Those kinds of forums such as the Doha meeting or other future meetings on climate change, so that these findings and these understandings and really these complexities can be translated into policy relevant information that then can be used to establish international accords. And some of the things that we've been debating here is, how do we go about doing this? Do we integrate loss and damage concerns and priorities within existing institutional frameworks? Do we develop a new institutional framework? And at what point do we recognize that some of these issues are extremely systemic, they're structural? And what does that point to in terms of the way fundamental relationships in the global system are structured?